I am afraid that I've waited too long to go live. We are here at the JL Ranch North. That's the home of the Giants. You heard me right. The JL Ranch North, home of the Giants. Hey, you know what I can do? Instead of me walking out in the dark, let me go get. Hold on. Actually, what I need to do first and foremost, allow me a moment to turn off all of the silly things before people do weird stuff, y'all. Give me a moment here. Turn that off and turn that off. Okay. I think that we've turned everything off. Uh, I'm losing my daylight. I am here with Lex, and he's watching football, and he's excited because he and Ellie. Let me go ahead and do a little quick interview. We're going to do a quick. Just hush it up while I'm working, Tex. Let's do a quick interview. Hey, Lex, press pause on the TV. Just press mute. I'm doing a quick interview. You are in the championship with LE. The winner wins the entire fantasy league. Now, what's crazy about that is this is your very first year to play fantasy. How does that make you feel to know that your very first year and you're in the championship game?
I feel accomplished.
You feel accomplished. And how do you feel about beating your dad 3 times in a row?
That was the best part of that.
He beat me out of the playoffs last week. So as he sits here watching football, watching his fantasy stuff, I'm out here doing chores. I'm like, you want to help me? And he said, you can go back, son. Thank you. He goes, no, he doesn't want to help his dad. I said, hey, this is going to be yours one day. He goes, I'll learn later. He'll learn later, y'all. He'll just learn later. I have our snacks on the side-by-side. So let's all just drive over and say hi to hello to Roman and Rita. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday. Jamie will be back tomorrow, and that'll be exciting. Don't worry. All of the chores are getting done, friends. All the chores are getting done. But we'll still be happy to have Jamie back home. I made an actual long form video about the feed up with Roman and Rita today and how well it went. But I did not have time to get it uploaded. And then I would have uploaded it right now, but Lex is watching football on TV. To him, it's a very important game because, like I said, he's in the fantasy football playoffs. And I did not want to end up giving him signal issues. So I was like, you know what? I'll let him enjoy his game. And we're going to try to come over here and see if Roman and Rita want to walk over for a snack. You guys want a snack? Now, they may not come over because they're over there eating on their grains. And if they don't, it's okay. I'm not going to make them come over. I'm not going to shake the bag. I'm not going to do any of that kind of stuff. But I am standing in their area. So I would hope they would walk over. The reason I wanted to go live is because there were so many people who were concerned and worried about us here with the weather. And I'll tell you what, guys, Texas, and especially this part of Texas, had some really severe weather these last several days. We don't normally have bad weather. I mean, you know, we get rain. Everyone gets some rain. But all the tornadoes, and of course, I know many of you guys watch a lot of the weather channels. So you hear names like Plum Grove, and you just can't help like, what? Wait a minute, I know Plum Grove. That's where Lester and Jamie and the Morrows are, And then you hear other names like Livingston, and you recognize the names of the different counties. And it's very kind. Everyone's reaching out, and they're so worried, and they're nervous, and they're, finding ways to ask about you. But everything's fine. Once again, though, we got a lot of water. Hey, guys, I'm sorry. They're not going to walk over, and let's not make them because they are actually eating their grains. But what I will do with you all is walk over. We'll leave the side-by-side there, and I'll just have a quick peek at the cows. And we're so blessed to have a nice, solid driveway, though. this rock is big, and I've talked about a few times how, well, let me tell you the story behind this driveway. So everyone knows that a year ago, when one of the very first things that we did with this property after we signed the papers is we knew we had to have a driveway, because what we had before was just a muddy rut-filled mess. And so we took and we had them bring us some 1-inch rock. Let me show you. This over here is what they call a 1-inch rock, I guess because it's about an inch. And the guy poured, I don't know, I think he did 8 loads of 1-inch rock while it was dry, and it was great. Everything was wonderful while it was dry. We had a really pretty rock driveway. But the problem is, after we got a couple of rains and began to drive on it, that 1-inch rock began to squash right down into the mud. Yes. And so what I had to do was about a year later, there were finally so many spots starting to show in the driveway that was where there was like actual mud holes, muddy spots. Hi, baby. This is Jenny Lane. Guys, I know it's dark. I did not mean to go live so late, darn it. I was a little bit too late. But what happened was I called back and says, hey, we're going to need some more rock. But because of the incident they had there with the Lake Livingston Dam, there was no rock available. And at some point, Victory says, you know what we can get? We do have 3-inch rock available. Hi, baby. Guys, you know who this is, don't you? This is our sweet Danny. We love her so very much. And that's Jenny Lane right here beside her. And I'm hoping that the more Jenny Lane watches Danny and Ruby get loving, maybe she'll eventually come up and get herself some loving. Don't scratch your eye, baby. Don't scratch your eye on that fence, okay? But sometimes animals can watch other animals, and they can learn that, you know what, you're not that bad of a man after all. You're not that bad of a man after all. And that's wonderful. So, hi, sweetie. Hi, baby girl. Anywho's, I'm going to get to a point that I want to talk about here in a few minutes, but give me a few seconds to get myself into it and find a way to bring it up, okay? Anywho's, so we finally got a phone call from Victory Dirt. I got a text from one of the drivers who says he's able to get a hold of some 3-inch rock. And he told me that 3-inch rock is quite a bit bigger. And he said that it would not be as likely to squish into the ground the way the 1-inch rock did. So Jamie and I waited a little bit to save the money. And then we had him bring us, I think he brought 3 or 4 loads. And he only really spread it in certain areas where we needed it. But one of those areas was right over there beside the RV. And guys, it made it very difficult. It did. It made it so very difficult to walk because that 1-inch rock is so big that it will almost twist your ankle when you're walking across it. Now, I will say this. He was right. We've had some very heavy rains here, and we have not had any of this rock. This rock does not move because we have that solid base on the bottom and this big rock on top. It is smashed down nice. It's a very solid driveway. But I do think that we're still going to have to come back at some point with some more additional 1-inch rock just to give us a smoother driving and walking space. Because me trying to walk over the driveway, I've never tripped and fallen. But what I have done is I've twisted my ankle numerous times. It's probably similar to if you guys go hiking and you step on loose, larger rock. What you're seeing over here is Waylon, and he's over there cuddling with both the half sisters, the Loretta and Patsy. They've all been moved over, and we have those girls over here with Waylon. In case you're wondering why, that was a part of the video I almost uploaded, but I didn't have time to. Tex was beginning to start, he was Tex was starting to show interest in Loretta again. Now, you all know what happened last time. If you've been a page follower for a while, you know that about a month ago, when we thought Tex had bred Loretta, it ended up not taking, because she's back in heat again, and which is good, but we also saw her lay around for a couple of days, and which kind of scared a lot of us. So I says, you know what, we're not going to put her through that again with that big brute Tex. So instead, I moved her up in the front with Waylon. So if she does end up getting bred again, it'll be from Waylon, which will be fine. There's no blood relation. Everything's fine. I just think that we could have probably got a little bit better stock out of her with Tex. But it's okay. Waylon's a really, really wonderful bull who puts off some really pretty babies. All right, so friends, I'm going to talk to you now about the reason why I wanted to go live. And I don't know how to say this. I don't know exactly what to do. I wish Jamie were here with me. But we cannot find Sadie. And I want to tell you what happened last night. I have some video that I want to wait and see if I can find her first. But last night they were popping fireworks off over here in the distance. It's hard to see because you all know that we're surrounded by open pastures and enclosed off pastures. But last night they started popping fireworks over here in one of these homes, I don't know, several hundred yards off in that direction. And guys, I'm not reading comments yet. I will put my glasses on and read. I promise I will. But as of right now, I'm not. And so let me just tell you my story, and then I'll start watching the comments and seeing what's going on. But they started popping those darn fireworks. And I let Sadie inside the RV with me. I was here by myself. I let Sadie inside, and she was fine. But I was worried about the horses, the cows, of also being equally scared. So you can't let your cows inside, obviously. So what I did was I come over and I opened the main door to the RV and I closed the screen. And I'm starting to do stuff. I'm moving around a little bit, watching everybody, just trying to talk. I'm just trying to talk to them. I'm out here talking to them like I'm talking to them right now, trying to let them see that I'm here, letting the cows know that everything is safe, letting the cows know that we're fine, making sure Roman's okay. I'm feeding some snacks. And it's probably around this same time of day, around maybe a little bit later. And all of a sudden I heard this horrible noise, and Sadie had busted herself through the screen door. Literally, she pushed herself through the screen door. So there's two doors on the RV, two doors. One of those doors is the main aluminum or the metal door, and the other is a screen door. And she pushed herself right through the screen, and off she ran. She's scared, y'all. She's terrified, scared. Anyway, I'm sitting here and I'm still doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to find out where Sadie's at. I'm trying to keep Roman calm. I'm trying to make sure the cows are okay. And I found myself very stretched thin, just really stretched thin. And I thought that probably Sadie would go to her little spot over here. I'll walk over there now. I have a headlight I could put on if you need to have light. I don't think you need to have light right now. I'm just telling you a story. So, anywho's, I thought that Sadie might have come over here into the little spot where we have her little nook over here. And so I didn't worry a whole lot about it. It worried me, but I wasn't worried at the time. But once I had a chance to come over and look, and I walk in, and there's her little doggy door right there. But Sadie was nowhere to be found. She was not inside here. And that got me real worried. So the fireworks continued for a while longer. I drove around by the rest stop. You all know that there's a truck stop over there, you can kind of see the lights from here. You see that orange light? That's a big old truck parked over there. I don't know why or where. I sent a text to my neighbor who lives over here. That's the pastor of the local church. His name is Mr. Curtis. And I asked him if he'd seen her. He said he'll keep his eye out for her. There's no other neighbors to contact. So I was just scared. I was just nervous. And so I put out food here. And then when I woke up this morning, I thought that I might see her. I might find her. The rain had stopped for the most part. The fireworks had stopped, obviously. And I couldn't find Sadie. So today was a busy day. I couldn't sit here all darn day, y'all. I couldn't just sit here all day. It's Saturday. And so I went ahead and hooked onto my trailer. Went to Plum Grove. We had a lot more heavy rain come through. Lots of thunder, lots of lightning, which does not help anything. It doesn't help anything. Sadie's also scared of thunder and lightning. And horrible storms come through here. And so whenever I got back a little while ago, I was hoping that she would be here. And the food that I had put out is still there. And so I don't know where Sadie's at. Now, tomorrow is going to be Sunday, so it's going to be really hard to do anything on a Sunday. I got out and I drove the side-by-side around and around and around all of the pastures, different places she may have been hanging out, but she's not with any of our cows, and all of our cows are fine, and Sadie's nowhere around the cows. So I don't know, friends. I told Jamie that I can't find her. And I says, let's not get everybody scared. Let's see if we can try to locate her on maybe if there's like animal control. We'll try to get a hold of them on Monday. And maybe she got scared and ran to somebody's yard. And maybe somebody, is loving on her. I hope. But she hasn't been here all day, and I've not seen her since yesterday, last night, at around this same time. So I don't know where our sweet Sadie's at. So what we're going to do is, I think anything that probably you do the same thing. I've driven around. I don't know where to drive to. I've driven around and looked and looked and looked. I've driven around here on the property, and I've also driven around along the road. I've gone to the rest stops. I even drove along this back highway. And the problem over here is these properties over here, those homes are way off the road. There's a road, but those homes are off the road. And I'm sorry that you can't see, but there's nothing to see anyway. I'm just pointing to blackness. So I hope that Sadie has run off somewhere and she's at somebody's house and they're loving on her. Sadie does have a collar she wears. It has her little heart that shows her rabies. Sadie is chipped. You all know we did all that with the vet when we first got her. And so all I can do is hope that at some point she'll show back up. Someone will call us, or someone will find a way to have her checked, and they'll see that she belongs to us. So I don't know what else to say, except I'm letting you know that I can't find Sadie. Now, I'm going to tell you all something, and before I put on my glasses, I didn't have to say a damn word. I didn't have to say a word. I could have found ways to talk about other stuff, but just like I saw poor Megan pouring her heart out to you all yesterday, letting you know about the promises that we've made to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly, even if that means mistakes that we've made, I'm telling you all that I can't find Sadie. All right? And I I didn't have to tell you a word, but I am telling you. So on Monday morning, I'm going to see if I can get a hold of animal control and let them know I got pictures, tons of pictures of our sweet Sadie girl. In the meantime, I'm going to keep putting some food out. I'm going to keep calling her. I am actually, as much as this rain has just really been something, I'm happy that tonight we have drizzly rain, so these same folks are not off popping their fireworks again like they were last night. Last night was something crazy, just crazy. But it's rained so much today that I don't think there's been much fireworks being popped tonight. I don't hear any of them right now, and that's wonderful. So, anywho, okay, I will now put on my glasses and I will try to walk back towards my side-by-side where I left it. And I'm going to also see if I can read any comments. So, someone says, why are people popping fireworks now? Well, sweet lady, I don't know why people pop fireworks on December the 27th, I think was yesterday, but people in these parts, I do think it's a cultural thing. They will pop fireworks and shoot guns every chance they get. And I don't know why, because traditionally, people would pop fireworks on Independence Day, July 4th. But now when they open up these fireworks stands, people buy these fireworks like crazy and they pop them off around Christmas and anytime the darn places are open. Comments are going by pretty fast and I don't know exactly what you're all saying. I'm guessing you're mad at me and I don't know what else to tell you. I brought her inside with me. Sadie lives in that RV. Every time that I'm here and it's rainy or too hot, she comes in, she sleeps there on the floor, she eats inside with me. Guys, you've witnessed it 100 times. If you've watched the channel, you know that I do not restrict that baby from coming inside with me. I don't care if she's dirty or muddy. She comes inside. So if you want to blame somebody, you can go ahead. You ain't going to change the fact that we can't find Sadie by being mad at me. But I feel horrible because I guess what I should have done, in hindsight, what I should have done was just close the big door behind me. But listen to me, Sadie would have been scared inside there alone too. And so, like I said, I was maybe stretched a little bit thin. But there's nothing you could have done about it. There's nothing. You can't just call and tell someone to stop popping fireworks. I don't know who's popping them anyway. I don't know the neighbors who live on the far back side of the property over there. We're blessed that the property right beside me is, no one lives there. Those are just leases. But there are homes half a mile that way, and they were sending off fireworks like crazy. And I don't know. Someone said she probably ran away from the fireworks. I agree. I don't think she would have run towards the fireworks, which is why I went looking at the rest stop. But the rest stop over here that I'm aiming towards right now, I know that you can't see anything, friends. I'm so sorry. It's dark. But the rest stop is where I went first. And I circled around the rest stop. I drove around like I'm some kind of a weirdo, probably. Probably thought I was some kind of a weirdo looking for a lizard, But I'm driving around making circles and I'm whistling. Who knows what those people think I'm doing? But I'm looking for Sadie and I couldn't find her at the rest stop. And I circled the rest stop multiple times, both sides. I also took my side-by-side and drove along this tree line over here. You all know the tree line where she lays a lot with the cows. Now, of course, today was a miserable day of rain, and the cows were here in the barn most of the day. But what I hope is that Sadie got spooked and just ran off to the woods to, hide or whatever they do when they get spooked. but I don't know. So I'm just letting you know that I can't find Sweet Sadie and I don't know where she's at, but I will go on Monday morning and I'll call the animal control, and if I have to go by and drop off a picture, and then Jamie will be here. Jamie comes back tomorrow, so she'll be here Monday, and then I'll have her contact that little newspaper group, the little Facebook group, the county Facebook people, and then we'll put a picture there too, and we'll just hope that at some point she'll show up in someone's yard and they'll see right off she's a sweet girl. Everyone's going to find her as being a really sweet dog. And then hopefully, if they're good people, they'll take her to have her scanned for a chip, and we'll get our sweet Sadie back. But for now, she's not with me. I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights on to the side-by-side, and we'll hang out with Roman for a minute. I think he's over here eating on his green hay. So it's not my intent to bring you bad news, but it is a promise that I've made to share with you, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hey, Rome. And so this is a moment I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of worried, but I don't know where she's at. Let me offer him. I don't want to shine the bright lights in his face. He may not care. So I'm going into my bag of treats. You want a snack? Guys, I need 2 hands to open this bag, I believe. Give me a second, please. I'm going to put my phone down. And now I got my phone picked back up. You want a snack, buddy? You want to walk over here and get you a snack? I got a handful of German biscuits. Your favorite snack in the world. You got to put your head over the fence. Oh, Roman, don't knock them out of my hands. He's got one and he dropped the other one. Looky here. You like those, don't you? Those are so very delicious. Oh, he's like shaking his head. He goes, I love these things, y'all. These are the funnest and the goodest snacks of all time. The funnest and the goodest snacks of all time, Roman. I don't know where Rita's at, but she's here, I promise you. All right, friends, I think that I've kept you guys a while. I didn't mean to keep you. I just wanted you to know that we are worried about sweet Sadie. And I'm going to keep driving around, and I'm going to keep making loop-de-loops, and hopefully, I'm sorry, bud, I didn't mean to scare you, Roman, and hopefully we'll be able to find her. And I'm thinking that maybe tonight that it's a lot quieter will be a good thing. The rain has stopped. I can actually see some stars out, but that also means that she's been gone a full 24 hours. And so I did not mention it on our morning live because I didn't want to scare Jamie, and I didn't want to get panic in all of you, because I thought that by the time I got back home, she would be back home and all would be fine. And I'm not concerned about the screen on the door. The screen on the door is not a big deal. I'm not concerned about that, y'all. I would rather have my dog back. So if y'all want to stick around a bit, I'll go ahead and drive you over down to the rest stop real fast, and we'll look for ourselves. I don't want to leave Lex for too long. He's sitting there watching football. They're inside the RV. Driving to the rest stop is not that scary. I know it's a highway, but I wait till there's no cars coming. I wait until there's no cars coming and I haul ass. You guys, if you're nervous for me, you don't have to be. If you're nervous for me, you don't have to be. I've done this 10 times, at least. And I'm going to do it right here behind this big truck. We're going to haul ass. You guys hold on. Y'all just hold on. All right, I've been looking all out around through here. I've been mostly looking up around the building. I thought she would want to talk to people or hang out with people. And so I've been making this same circle multiple times. I've been calling for her. I don't think that she'd be off in the woods now that there's no fireworks and all the rain has stopped. I think that she would be out and about. I would hope that she would be. And I would see her. But I just don't know. I haven't actually seen a worker here to ask. I do know they have workers that come by and work with the trash and stuff. See, there's a cat right there. There's a cat. That's not my dog, though. I can almost promise you, though, that if Sadie was here, her and that cat would be snuggled up. Sadie! Come on, sweetie! So what I normally do, I'm not going to cross the highway with you all right now. I don't need to have everybody screaming at me and calling the police, because I know y'all do stuff like that. But this is the church right here next door, and that's the pastor's church. So now the pastor knows that my dog is missing. So this building right here with a big bright light, that's the church. That's the church where the pastor who lives by my neighbor, that's where he preaches at right there. So this is the rest stop. We have one more rest stop across the way. I don't really picture why Sadie would ever cross the road, the highway especially. All right, now what I have to do is a little bit scarier because I have to go up the ramp. What I do, though, is I get over here on this grass where I can see, where no one's going to run over me. And I got to turn off my bright lights. So I'll turn off my bright lights, and then I'll wait till no one's coming. Y'all hold on. That was a close one. All right, so now I'm back. All right, so real fast, this is my neighbor's place over here, right here in front of me. That's the pastor who preaches right down the road. The only other thing that's anywhere near here is down the road about half a mile is a Jack in the Box and a liquor store. And like I said, though, I don't think that Sadie would ever go in the direction of the noises. That's where all that stuff was coming from down there. And so, anywho's. Well, friends, I don't mean to come on here and give y'all scary news, but I'm still hopeful. Sadie's a really good dog. She's been chipped. So all we got to do is hope that she ends up somewhere where somebody will see her, realize that she's been well fed, and that they'll take her to have her chipped red. Alrighty. There's the horses. Hey, Rita. Hey, Roman. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and pull the side-by-side up over here and get off. I'll go back inside the RV and read a few comments. But, like I said, I don't know exactly what you'd be asking. I think I've explained everything just fine. I've explained to you all that I can explain to you. So I'll just sit right here for a minute. I don't want to go in there and upset Lex, even though I did tell him. So someone says, look in the ditches. Guys, I've looked in the ditches. I've checked the cameras. Yeah, the last time she was on a camera was at 5 o'clock yesterday, and I got her on that camera right there where my truck is sitting. She's sitting right there in the hay at 5 o'clock yesterday. That was before it got dark, though. So I have not looked on the train tracks. There's no way to get to those train tracks. You have to really go across some thick woods to get to the actual train tracks. I know what you're talking about because you can hear those trains, but no, I've not gone to the train tracks. I don't know why she'd be on the train tracks. If she's scared of loud noises, those trains come through her every 30 minutes, and I don't think that she'd be around the train tracks. Okay. All right, friends. Well, see, I thank you for the comments and for the suggestions, and I will absolutely keep my eye out. I think that the best step forward as of right now is to contact, tomorrow's Sunday, so we'll keep a lookout tomorrow. Let's hope that if there's no fireworks tonight because of the rain, then maybe she'll come back home overnight. I'll put food out just in case. And then what I'll do is I will also tomorrow have a few drive-abouts and call, and then I will, on Monday morning, I'll have Jamie put a picture onto the Facebook groups, and then we'll also contact the animal control and see if they've picked up anything over the last couple of days. I don't know for a fact if animal control has a chip reader. And I also don't know if Sadie would get in a car with anybody. If you remember, Sadie's not a car kind of a dog. So I don't really think that anybody would stop and pick her up. If you remember, she'll get in the truck, but I had to actually pick her up. That's how I hurt my shoulder the last time. Literally having to pick her up to put her into the truck. And so she would sometimes jump in the truck if the other dogs are in there. But she's not really the kind of dog who just wants to go jump in anybody's car. So, anywho. And then someone says about my night vision goggles. Yes, I have my thermal vision goggles, and I can certainly get those out. But I think that by now she would have come back home if she's anywhere in the area. Like I said, the rain has stopped about an hour and a half ago. Everything, all the storms have cleared out. And so I'm just hopeful she'll come back home. She'll be here in the morning when Lex and I wake up and get to moving around. So, all right, friends. Well, thank you so much for watching. And for those who are saying they're going to keep their ears open and they got their prayers that sweet Sadie gets back home to us. And I'm sorry, I don't really know. I'm sitting here, of course, the first thing you do is start blaming yourself. And I just don't know how I could have done things any differently. I just don't know. So, all right. Well, thank y'all for watching. And we'll let you know more tomorrow. All right. Good night, friends.